Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Muhammad Rafiq bin Muhammad Radwan. My matric number is A153267. My final year project proposal is the assessment of oxidative stress and DNA damage of air sample extract on V79 lung fibroblast. This is the outline for my proposal video. The first one is the introduction. Air pollution can be described as an air quality alteration that can be determined by air chemicals, biological or physical pollutant measurements. Air pollution also means the excessive presence of impurity or an irregular rise in the proportion of some component of the atmosphere such as sulfur dioxide or nitrogen. There are two categories of air pollution, which are anthropogenic and natural sources. For the anthropogenic, there are four subcategories, which are stationary, mobile, agriculture, operation, and landfills. Meanwhile, example for natural sources are volcanoes, earthquake, and forest fire. Some examples for the air pollutants are particulate matter, ozone, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, volatile organic compound, and lead. I would like to further explain about PM10. PM10 is particulate matter which has 10 micrometers or less in diameter. PM10 is generally described as fine coarse particles. Malaysian National Ambient Air Quality Standard for PM10 is 100 microgram per meter cube in outdoor air average over 24-hour period and 40 microgram per meter cube in outdoor air average over 1 year. Meanwhile, PM2.5 is particulate matter which has 2.5 micrometers or less in diameter. PM2.5 is generally described as fine particles. Malaysia National Ambient Air Quality Standard for PM2.5 is 35 microgram per meter cube in outdoor air average over a 24-hour period and 15 microgram per meter cube in outdoor air average over a year. The air pollution can affect the environment and human health. On the environment, it can contribute to the production of acid rains and global warming. Meanwhile, on human health, it can cause asthma, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, and lung cancer. There have been some studies being conducted to show the effects of air pollution on human health. One of the effects is asthma. Based on Steven et al. 2019, outdoor air pollution impacts the growth of the lung and causes asthma morbidity in children. Besides that, a significant proportion of cases of asthma due to outdoor air pollution in the children also increased. And based on Teacher et al. 2008, PM2.5 increased allergic sensitization in those who are genetically at risk. Next is lung cancer. A study confirms increased diagnosis and presentation of lung cancer during haze season. This one is based on Hassan et al. 2017. Besides that, PM2.5 also were strongly correlated with the diagnosis of lung cancer and 1-year mortality. Lung cancer are all significantly higher in people who are exposed to high polluted air. For example, Bangkok has 3 times the rate of lung cancer compared to the rest of the Thailand. I would like to explain about DNA damage. DNA damage is alteration in the physical and chemical structure of DNA, such as break in a strand or base missing from the backbone. There are two sources of DNA damage, which is endogenous and exogenous. So, reactive oxygen species cross is oxygen-containing chemical species with reactive chemical properties. Examples include free radicals like superoxide and hydroxy radicals, and non-radical molecules such as hydrogen peroxide, which can cause oxidative stress. Next is about cell death. Cell death is the event of a biological cell ceasing to carry out its function. There are two types of cell death, which are apoptosis and necrosis. This is the comparison between necrosis and apoptosis of a cell. So, my research justification is studies related to air pollution mainly focus on monitoring and sampling, but few focusing on the cellular response to the air pollutants. A previous study has conducted cytotoxic testing of the air sample extract. The value of IC50 of the air sample extract was obtained from previous study. This study is a continuation to observe the DNA damage and oxidative stress on the V79 lung fibroblasts treated with this air sample extract. So, the research question is, does air sample extract cause oxidative stress and DNA damage in V79 lung fibroblasts? The general objective is to investigate the effect of air sample extract on oxidative stress and DNA damage in V79 lung fibroblasts. There are three specific objectives. The first one is to determine the mode of cell death. Second one is to measure the level of reactive oxygen species. And the third one is to determine the DNA damage of V79 lung fibroblasts. Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Muhammad Rafiq bin Muhammad Radwan. My matric number is A153267. My final year project proposal is the assessment of oxidative stress and DNA damage of air sample extract on V79 lung fibroblasts. This is the outline for my proposal video. The first one is the introduction. Air pollution can be described as an air quality alteration that can be determined by air chemicals, biological or physical pollutants. This study will be used V79 lung fibroblast cell. This cell is a lung tissue from male Chinese hamster. This cell properties is adherent and it will be cultured in Dolbeco modified Eagles medium in 5% carbon dioxide at 37 degrees Celsius. An Asian 5 feet CPI is used to determine the mode of cell death that being treated with the air sample extract. This procedure is based on the method in Chan et al. 2010 with slight modification. An Asian 5 has high affinity toward phosphatidylserine and will emit green fluorescent color. Meanwhile, propidium iodide will bind to the DNA damage in the dead cell and will emit red in color. So the next one is dihydroetidium staining, or known as DHE staining. It is used to measure the level of superoxide anion in V79 lung fibroblasts treated with the air sample extract. This procedure is based on Chan et al. 2010 with appropriate modification. Dihydroetidium will emit blue fluorescent color, and when it reacts with superoxide anion, will emit strong red fluorescent. The next one is DCFHDA staining. It is used to measure the level of hydrogen peroxide on V79 lung fibroblasts treated with the air sample extract. This procedure is based on Lee et al. 2010 with appropriate modification. H2DCFDA will passively diffuse into the cell where there are two acetate groups are cleaved by intracellular esterase to yield DCFH. Then, if there is hydrogen peroxide, DCFH will form highly fluorescent product which is DCF. Lastly is the alkaline comment assay. Alkaline comment assay is used to determine the DNA damage of V79 lung fibroblasts treated with the air sample extract. This procedure is based on Hartman et al. 2003 with slight modification. The cell that been treated will be mixed with low melting agarose at 37 degrees Celsius. After that, this mixture will be put into the slide and will be treated with lysis solution to remove the membrane and histone from the DNA. After that, the samples will be treated with alkaline to unwind and denature DNA. After that, the sample will undergo alkaline electrophoresis, which will reveal the DNA break. And the longer and the darker the tail of the comet assay, it indicates the cell contain more DNA damage. So for statistical analysis, I will use IBM SPSS statistic version 25.0. The first one, I will test the normality testing, and if the data is normal, I will use one-way ANOVA, and if the data is not normal, I will use Kruskal-Wallis. And here is my Gantt chart, and here is my reference. Thank you.